So right now, you should have most of your skeletons created. All right. So the next step is going to be to cover 2 of the 4 faces. So when I put my pyramid down, right, a tetrahedron is a 4-faced, so there's one here, one back here, one here, and one on the bottom. A 4-faced triangular solid. Now, in order to redirect the air down, push the air downwards, and create lift, we need to cover 2 of the 4 faces. We need to leave the other 2 open so that the air can go through the open area faster. So by pushing the air down and having the air go through the other 2 open faces faster, you're going to get the maximum amount of lift. So you have 3 pieces of tissue paper that are really long. Okay, they're 20 by 30 inches. You need to fold them in half 4 times. So each piece has a major crease. That's your first fold. All right. So that's going to be fold number 1. Then I'm going to take this edge and I'm going to move it up nice and careful. And I'm going to fold number 2. All right. So that's fold number 2 to get it this size. Then I'm going to take this edge. I'm always lining up this folded edge. So I line up that nice solid closed edge, and I fold that. That's 3. And then the last thing, again, I've got a closed edge. This side is all open. So I have a closed edge right here. So when I go to fold it the last time, I go closed edge and closed edge on the same side. And that's your 4th fold. So before you cut this, your tissue paper should be approximately 5 inches by about 7 3/4 inches. If it doesn't look like that, then watch the video over and fold it. All right. And fold it again. It's not difficult. You start pretty much with the full sheet folded in half. And then again, find that solid hinged edge. That's what I call it, a hinge. Hinged edge to hinged edge, that's number 2. I've got the hinged edge right here, open edge over here. So I want hinge edge folded to hinge edge. And then the same thing right here. And when you're done, it's going to be about 5 by 7. And again, you've got that closed. Okay, that's a closed edge. There's your open edge. So we really want to be concerned with this closed edge right here because you get a nice sharp point, not on the open edge. You have a nice sharp point. And that's where you have to take the template. Now, the template has a short side and a longer side, okay, on the top and the bottom. You want to make sure that the longer side goes up against that sharp point. So I'm going to put this sharp point right there, my 90-degree sharp point on that 90-degree sharp point. And I'm just going to take a marker or a pencil or a pen, and I'm going to do 3 marks. I'm going to trace it, trace it, trace it. Okay. So now I have my nice sharp pointy corner. I had my 90-degree edge, and I put the long end up the top, and there should be just a little bit of a space down here on the open end. Okay. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take a pair of scissors. Well, you're going to show it to me first. When you get to this point, I want you to show it to me so that I see that sharp pointy edge. And then all you're going to do is I'm going to cut right there. Right there. And right there. And if I did it correctly, when I unfold it, okay, that hinged edge becomes just that, a hinge. So the 2 pieces are together. So that's the shape that we're looking for. And you get 1, 2, 3, 4. So out of each piece, you are going to get 4 pieces of tissue paper, again, that are hinged. That's the important part. You never cut that closed hinge off. You're going to get enough to cover 4 tetrahedrons. So I gave you 3 sheets of tissue paper, which means you're going to have 12 of these, but you're only going to need 10. Now to attach them, it's pretty simple. I'm going to take my tissue paper. I'm going to put it right in front of me. I'm going to take the glue stick that I put in your baggie also. I like to open it up so that it's a good 1/2 inch because I want to use the edge of the glue stick. Don't use it flat. Don't use the whole flat surface. Just use the edge like a pencil. And I'm just going to put a little strip of glue right on that crease. And what that does is it's going to hold your tetrahedron, because now I'm going to take my tetrahedron and I'm going to put one of the edges right on that glue so that it's pretty consistent, even amount sticking out on both sides. Now you want to make sure your string is not in the way. So what happens is I'm left with 2 tabs. I've got a tab right here and I've got a tab right here. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your glue stick and I'm going to go 1, 2, 1, 2. And then I'm going to take this tab, I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to fold it over the top of my straw and crease it down just like that. Then I'm going to take this other tab. I'm going to go 1, 2, 1, 2. And I like to go from the center. I like to go from the center out and the center out. That way it doesn't cause your tissue to wrinkle. And if you touch the glue, it'll help you pick it up. I'm just going to pick this up. I'm going to pull it fairly tight. And I'm going to glue that. Now that's done. Okay, that face is covered. Now what I'm going to do is just take the point and flip it up just like that. All I did was tip it over. And I've got the same thing. I've got a tab here and a tab here. And if I look closely, right in this spot right here, this template is a little bit short. So when I go to fold it, I can push this back before I fold this edge over. So I'm going to do the same thing. Glue there. Glue there. I'm going to push this edge back and make sure that it's centered. I'm going to lift this up, pull it over nice and tight. It does not matter if there's wrinkles on the inside of this. Then I'm going to come over to this side. Same thing. Center out. Center out. Grab it. Fold it over. Now what you have is 2 faces. 1 face, 2 faces of your tissue covered, of your tetrahedron covered, and you've got 1, 2 faces open. And that's what you're looking for. Okay. So I'm going to put that video on the stream. But the important thing is to fold your tissue in half 4 times, always keeping that hinged edge lining up with the hinged edge. That's how you can tell which way to fold it. Should be about 5 inches by 7 3/4 inches. And then you trace the template so that that sharp point on your tissue is lined up with this sharp point. So the longest part's going to be up the top. Smallest part, you're going to have a little extra below the smallest part. Trace it, and then you're going to make sure you show it to me. Each time, show it to me before you cut. Okay, I'm going to go back to my computer. So any questions on that? It seems like it might be difficult. Let me go shut the presentation off.